Welcome to story time, rise and shine. Welcome to story time, rise and shine. Welcome to story time, we're so glad you're here. Rise and shine. Welcome to story time, rise and shine. Welcome to story time, rise and shine. Welcome to story time, we're so glad you're here.
Once upon a time, there was a lady named Miss Savannah. Miss Savannah loved gardening. One day, Miss Savannah decided that she wanted to plant some flowers in a flower pot that her mother had gave her. So Miss Savannah went outside. She got her pot, she got her potting soil, and then she went into the shed and got her flower seeds. She went back outside, she put the potting soil in the pot, and she planted her seeds. Then she watered them, and she said, "Okay, I've done all I can do. Now I will go inside, and I will come back out tomorrow and check on my flowers and water them." So Miss Savannah just did that. She checked on her flowers every day, and she watered them every day. One day, Miss Savannah came outside to water her flowers, and she saw a sprout, and she said, "Well, I'll have flowers soon, just a couple more days." So every day that Miss Savannah checked, she saw more and more sprouts, and she became very excited. Well, the next day when Miss Savannah came out, she saw beautiful flowers of orange and pink. She went over to the flowers and she gave them more water, and then she picked one to take inside to put on her table. The end.
Hi, boys and girls. You just heard a story about my garden. But did you know that you can make your own garden with something we have here at the library? All gardens are different, and you might not have flowers that look like mine, but your garden could still be just as beautiful. In fact, you could plant some marigolds, or maybe you want to plant something you could eat, like some peas, maybe some spinach. If you like vegetables, a garden is a great thing. And it's a good way to learn about the plant life cycle. You know, plants start out as seeds. So when you come to get your seeds, you'll plant it in the dirt, just like I did in my garden, and then it'll become a sprout. And after it becomes a sprout, it becomes a plant that has a flower and maybe some fruit on it. And then you get more seeds. And after there are more seeds, you can plant those and get more plants, or you can come to the seed library and try something else. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Good morning, boys and girls. As you know, this week we have been talking about plants and how plants grow. Today I'm going to show you an experiment so you can see that something within the plants make the water feed throughout the plants. And so we're going to do a simple experiment. We have some celery, we have food coloring, we have water, and we have a knife. Now you might need some assistance with this if you are going to do it. So the first thing you do is you cut your celery, and you're going to need 4 pieces. So now notice that the celery has leaves. We're going to do an experiment that shows you that water will travel. Excuse me, I'm going to do the water first. So I'm going to pour my water into my glasses. About the same amount. Then I'm going to drop some food coloring in. We're going to put yellow, maybe like 6 drops. 3, 4. We're going to put green. And we're going to put red. We're going to stir. So we're going to stir those up just so we can make sure that the coloring is in the water. So note, you have, what color is that? It's supposed to be yellow. Yellow, blue, green, and red. And then we're going to cut our celery, and we're going to insert it into the cup of water. And that was in yellow. Now we're going to put the blue in. And we're going to put the green in. Now, note the color green on this celery. Then we're going to put the red in. And we're going to wait a couple of hours. Now, we're not going to show you as it's doing it, but we're going to film. This is how it looks now. You note that all of the leaves are green, but let's see what happens to those leaves as it starts to absorb the water. So, are the leaves going to stay the same color? Is the stalk going to stay the same color? Just look, and you'll see how plants absorb water. Hi. If you notice that it's been 24 hours since we started with our water and celery absorption project, meaning we wanted to see whether the celery was absorbing the water that was inside of the cup. This is the blue cup. If you note, if you look through it, you see little blue spots going through the celery stalk. And if you note to the top, the celery is turning blue on the end. So the water is absorbing to the highest point, and the leaves are beginning to turn blue. And green, of course, the color is going to be green. And if you note from yesterday, they are a deeper color. If we look at the red container, this is the red, we will see that our celeries, the red is getting to the tip end of the celery stalk. And so it's rising to its farthest point. And if you see that part where the celery is broken off, you see it's also rising. So if you note that the water is drawing up through the stalk and going to the farthest point, and this is how plants work. Plants absorb water, and this is how water helps plants to grow. Thank you, and maybe next week we'll just show you the plants turning a full different color. Bye-bye.
Today I've got a special surprise for you. I'm going to show you my real life actual garden with growing plants in it. Let's take a look. So this is the garden. So let's see if they want us to come out. Okay, yeah. So we can come see everything. So this is the garden. Some sage and coleus. And this one's lavender. And this I'm going to show you in a minute. We've actually got growing out there. And I've got some little sprouts. Here we've got some little tiny sprouts. And these are little lavender plants. So these were planted as seeds, and right now they're just little tiny babies. And then I'm going to show you some dill, which I've got growing out there. And the dill is already in the little sprouts, and it's starting to grow, and it'll look a little bit like this. So keep your eyes open, and when you see little leaves that look like that, you'll know that you're looking at the dill sprouts. And this is dill. Dill is an herb, and that one's grown from seed too, so they're in the sprout stage. And then I've got, let's see, here's some cabbage, and I'm going to show you some cabbage that I've grown. And they're little still because they take a while to grow. And let's see if I can show you. And this is going to be a big cabbage. This guy needs some water though because he's looking a little bit low. And remember, you have to water your plants because plants need water all the time. And this is some more cabbage. See, that one's kind of bigger, isn't it? You see how much bigger that one is? Here's what these flowers look like now. You see how they all look different? Some of them are tall, some of them are short, some of them have little red veins in them. And that's because it's a mix of flowers. And I put the seed packet right here so I can remember what they look like. And a seed packet normally tells you the types that are in there too. And I make sure I water these too, so we should have some flowers probably in another couple months. So this is a watering can. I use that whenever I water my plants. So these are called Periwinkle. And they're some of my favorite flowers. And this is called a Mother of Millions plant. And I like that one a lot because it grows these little things right here on the ends of the leaf. Those are little baby plants. So those will grow up to be big plants. And this is actually one of the baby plants. And that's Zildjian. That's my puppy dog. So then up here we've got some mint. And the mint grows in a basket. And it's going to need some water too. And remember, if you plant a garden, because we live in Florida, you got to water it all the time. So here we got some little baby lettuces just sprouting right now. This is some more lettuce, and in the middle, that's called cilantro. That's an herb. And then this down here, I think these are just so pretty. This is beets. And beets are a pretty red color. So those are the beets. You see how red they are? They're pretty, aren't they? I like that. So that's beets, and then this is called a spider plant. And it doesn't have any flowers really. It actually gets little white flowers. I don't know if we've got any right here, but this little thing here, see this long shoot? That's how it makes babies. They come off of there and you stick it in the dirt and it makes little baby plants. And then that's a native Florida plant. And I think it's called purslane, if I'm not mistaken, and it gets little flowers. This is my waterer, so I put this in here and it's got little holes in it. That way my avocado tree stays watered. So there's the avocado tree. And this right here, I forgot to show you, this is another native Florida plant. And you should never pick plants from the outside. You should leave them for where they're supposed to be. But this one actually was on a dead tree and it had fallen on the ground. And this had come off and I didn't want it to die, so I strapped it up and here it is. Here's the avocado tree. And this is Ranger. That's my other dog. And they like to look for lizards. Okay, so This here is going to be a lily, and I think it's called a tiger lily, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. Anyway, so it'll have a big flower on it. But you see, it's got, down here, you can kind of see it. You see that big brown thing there? That's, instead of like a normal seed, you've got a bulb on this plant, and that's where the plant comes from. It comes from the bulb. And I don't know when that's going to flower. I've never seen a flower on this yet, so we'll see how that goes. Then I got some little baby mints here, and I'm just starting these, so I just started those this weekend, so they're looking a little limp. And then there's another little chicken. And this is another one of those plants. I think it's called a Song of India plant, and we saw that downstairs. So, well, that is my garden, and I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for coming along. Bye. Well, now you've seen my garden. And remember, you can do your own garden too. Just remember that it grows from small to big, and you start with a seed, and all you need is a pot and some potting soil and water. I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye.
Hi, boys and girls. Of course, you know from the videos that we are celebrating the beginning of spring. And you want to know what's in my basket. Well, first of all, springtime is a time when we celebrate new life or new beginnings. And so the way that you can do that is by what's in my basket. And I'm going to explain a few things that are in my basket. First, this isn't in my basket, but I want you to point out this is a little pot. And these envelopes contain seeds. Did you know that at the Fort Meade Public Library you can check out seeds? So, if you want to come by and get a pack of seeds and a pot, you can start to grow your own garden or your own plants. Of course, it's going to get a lot bigger than this, but you start with something small and then you gradually grow into something that's larger. So these are seeds that are available at our library. Now, when you start to grow your plant, you might want to have what is this? Who knows what you call it? A water pot. And you can water your plant with the water pot. Now, if you're like me and you don't like to get your hands dirty, you might need some, what are these? Garden gloves. And you can go outside and don't have to worry about getting dirt under your nails with garden gloves. So, what else is in my basket? All these beautiful flowers. Can you see them? They're all beautiful flowers. And flowers come in all sorts of wonderful colors. So, if you want to learn about plants, you want to definitely come to the library and check out this book. It is called Spring Plants. And it is a beautiful book that you will love to look at and love to see how plants are growing. Okay, and learn. And this next book here is called Grow Kind. Okay, that's the title of it. And it's about growing plants, fruits, vegetables, and pretty flowers. So might want to check out that book. And if you want to see, and we've talked about this series of books, it is called Eyewitness Books, and it's real life pictures of plants. So you might want to just come and skim through it and see all those beautiful plants. And the next book I have for you is called Plants and Plant Life. And you know that plants are living things. And you know that if you put too much water in them, they might die. So you just have to water them just enough. And you have to make sure that your plants get plenty of sunshine. And so in the springtime, the sun is coming up and it's all pretty outside. So that along with soil, you can't just put your seed in here and water the seed. The seed has to have soil. So we want you to stop by our library today and check out some of the things that were in our basket today. Check out seeds so you can start to see the beauty of the earth. Thank you for joining us today.